there, boys and girls. Today we're looking at Wargame European Escalation in the Armory. This is a real-time strategy game. I know we've been doing a lot of these lately, but there's a lot of good ones out there. This is a newer title, maybe 4 to 5 months old, maybe even less than that. And this is very different on all scales. If you've played the game Ruse, you can kind of put it next to Ruse, but it's not exactly the same. Let's go ahead and check out the first feature, which is called the deck. Each side to this game, you can have your own deck for. There's two sides. There's NATO and there's PAC. PAC is being the basically the bad guys, NATO being the good guys. So I already have one of each deck built, but you start out with the two regular decks, and basically what a deck is in this game is, you know, your list of units. This is the units that you can call into the battlefield, and these are the only units you can call into the battlefield. And you can have 5 per slot. You have logistics, recon, tanks, infantry, support, vehicles, and helicopters. So you know, that's that's quite a few units depending on which unit cards you pick here. Each unit has a particular amount of troops that come with that particular card. To be more example, to use an example, you can think of your Pokemon cards, okay? You can have only a certain number of one card in your deck, okay? And this basically works the same way. So let's say, for example, I have this M60 patent tank. I can only call in so many M60 patent tanks per card that I have. And we'll show you the examples in game as well, but I wanted to show you the deck first of all, just so you can kind of get an idea of, you know, what you do here. And to add units, you know, you go to the add button, and it has this big list of units to add to your deck, and I particularly prefer American units, and there's quite a few American units just by themselves, so that's, you know, a cool feature. Each one has a significant amount of things. Now, this takes place in the Cold War-esque era, like just getting out of the Cold War. So it's got some up-to-date equipment. Now, not all of it's up-to-date, but you'll see the Apache and things of that nature in here as well. So that's pretty neat. Going over to the PAC side, I don't play these guys very much. I don't know why, I just don't. But this is what their deck looks like. You get to choose between a rebellious Germany, you have Russia, I believe you'll have the CSSR, not sure what that is, maybe Czech, and then Poland. Who knew? But in any case, these are the two different sides, 4 nations per side, so it's quite a lot of equipment and things here. And you see all these stars. This is how you unlock the particular game, the particular unit. And each unit, you know, comes with different modes of transportation. Be it, you know, if it's infantry, you can choose to have them come in by helicopter or by tank. It's all up to you, and you choose that here in this one. So I'm gonna break here. We're gonna go right into game and show you some of the gameplay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in game. This is Wargame's in-game satellite map. This is basically your big overview. You'll see each particular point here has a number next to it. That's how many resource points I'll get per. I haven't even figured out what it's per. But basically, I'll build over time. I'll build research and resource points to develop. So the first thing you have to do is kind of set up your base, which is where the logistics come into play. You'll see I have an FOB, which resupplies my vehicles. I've got some command vehicles, which take over the sectors. You got your infantry, different types, and you'll see, as I said, they're cards, more or less, and that's how you call the units in. I have riflemen. I have 3 different cards for these riflemen, and each one of them can call in 32 of that particular type. So let's say I want to call in riflemen on the Black Hawk. I'll choose them, and boom, there we go. I've got riflemen in Black Hawk. Next thing I'll need to do is create, like I said, an FOB to resupply my guys. There we go. Next thing I'll probably want is some command vehicles. 2 of those. Probably need some anti-aircraft support. Sorry for the loud people here. If you guys can hear them, if not, then awesome. Alright, so in addition to that, I'll definitely want some tanks, so go ahead and call in some tanks here. Couple Bradleys. Some Cobras. How about some Delta Force? Now, considering I'm not in the interest of winning here, I'm going to probably go ahead and start with this, but there's one feature I also wanted to show you is that's how close this game can get. You have the sat view, which is way up here. This view where I was looking at the guys, but you can go all the way down to ground level. And this helps you get a better sense of what you're taking your guys into and what you're actually doing as far as when you're commanding your people. So it's a very cool feature, and I definitely like it. I decided that I'm going to add some artillery units to my deployment as well. So we're going to go ahead and get into the combat here and show you guys what the combat's like. So I found some air targets, so I'll just go ahead and kind of zoom in here, and you can see the game has some nice particle effects too. See each helicopter getting hit. It takes a lot of things into detail as well, like you can take damage and still have your helicopter function, and things will be wrong with it, such as you can have messed up tail rotors, messed up targeting computer, things like that. It won't take you directly out of combat, but it will immobilize that particular piece of equipment for some time. It looks like I'm taking some hits somewhere. Yeah, that'd be my helicopter. I'm losing a couple of them. Pull those guys out.
Heading to giving grid reference. It always comes down to the instrument
and if you were wondering, yes, there's some city combat. You see here I have I'm inside of a city getting mortared right now from God knows where, but they're destroying me with those mortars. So luckily we deployed some artillery earlier, so we'll go ahead and have these guys fire up here, figure out where they're coming from.
You've got something for me? We're on the move. Are you talking to me?
So in addition to your regular RTS strategy games content, this one adds in the ability to hide in certain things. Like you see my guys flashing there, it's because they're hidden. That's why the mortars have stopped actually hitting these, because they're now on the hidden thing. So that's pretty neat. You can set up good ambushes there, set your guys up in the forest, set your guys up in houses, and basically have them set up ambushes and destroy enemy equipment. That game's won in 2 different ways. Way 1 is by way of points, which is the way I'm playing here. You'll see we each have a set of points off to the right hand side, and that's basically to say the first person to get to this certain amount of points wins. Or you can do it by time. You have up to hour-long matches, and it's whoever has the most points at the end of the match. But there's definitely a bunch of good features to this game. I like it a lot. You'll see here I'm going to assault these tanks with my Cobras. They're stunned. And now my tanks are getting one additional feature you'll see here is these tanks, and just any unit in general, has controllable weaponry on it. This is to say, if if I don't want a certain weapon firing, or if I don't want them using a certain weapon, they will not. For example, my Delta Force, Carl Gustav, let's say I don't want them to engage tanks because of, you know, whatever the reason. Maybe I think they'll get killed by the tanks. I can turn this off, and they will not use it. Or they will save it for later. I don't want them shooting at. You know, I can do, you know, all sorts of different things with these guys, and it basically just lets you kind of customize the unit the way you want. Here are my battle tanks. Let's say, you know, I don't want my battle tanks using their missiles right now, so I can turn off missiles. Or, you know, I don't want them engaging infantry, turn off their cannons. You know, there's certain, you know, level of customization to your guys. But once a unit or units are out of supply, you have to refill them using these FOBs. You'll see my FOB is losing supply because my artillery is taking it. So it's always good to keep supply chains moving. You have different vehicles that supply. I have some Chinooks that fly in supplies. I also have a bunch of smaller trucks that bring in supplies. And you see they have to spawn out here in this area outside of the map and then come in. So supply chaining is definitely a big feature of the game. And with the scale of this game, it's just incredible. I mean, you can see all the different units here that are coming to attack. Not many games can boast this many people at one time, but this game does it pretty well. I'm running 57 frames a second right now while I'm recording, and this is all high settings, nothing turned down, so it's a very good optimized engine that they're using here. I'm actually using some British guys for this particular one, but I'm gonna lose here. It's no doubt about that. But I just wanted to show you some of the combat, so I'll hop down there and let you see.
Yes, sir. Need some extra fire?
Here's some of the artillery scarring effects you're going to see. Alright guys, well I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one is kind of a short video, but this is all real up front. It's something I like about the game. Everything is right there and taught to you from the start. You know, all the features are made available to you at the beginning of the game. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you next time in the Armory.